All right, I'm going to show an issue that some of these American Standard Champion and maybe other models have with this different kind of a flush valve. You're used to seeing the flapper that's down at the base of the toilet. You use a valve that's a bigger 4-inch pipe, and this little this green hat here, which is about a 5-inch in diameter, cap lifts up and dumps the water down, so you can potentially get a lot higher volume of water coming through there. I don't fully understand how it works, because this is the water level when it starts, and it only will go down to the height of that pipe, because obviously the water can't get below that. So that's probably a good 4 inches above the bottom. So a typical flush is that's just enough to move non-solid waste down without a problem. And if you hold the handle longer, you'll get more of that water to go down. So like this, holding it down, and you'll notice that the water only will go down to the top of that pipe. It will never get below the top of that pipe. It'll fill back up. So I'm going to turn the water off, the water supply off. Get the rest of that water out of there to explain what can happen to these things. Take this clip off of here. I'll do this with one hand. Now this, normally we would not be able to lift this up, but I made a modification to it. Normally you'd have to reach your other hand under the bottom, holding a plastic shaft, while you grab here and turn it, and you feel like you're going to break it, but you get past the feeling of breaking it, and it'll kind of have a snapping thing, and it kind of unlocks it from the plastic shaft. So we'll look at that in a second. That plastic shaft goes down inside of there, and it has 2 little tangs on there to keep the piece of plastic thing from falling down the drain, which is where the problem came in for me. I thought those little tangs were perhaps holding this whole mechanism up, because the water was leaking at the seal, and it's basically a brand new toilet. So I checked the integrity of the seal, seemed like I was fixing it, and then it kept on doing the phantom running thing, and I would go back, make sure the seal was okay. It seemed to be okay. A couple weeks later, it starts doing it again. So I was suspecting those little tangs were holding up the whole green thing enough to make it leak through there. So I devised a solution to that. In the meantime, the company told me it's critical that you make sure a lock ring, which is under here, this lock ring, has to be tightened down. And there's a spot on here where there's a little red mark. Find it. A little red mark right there. Those need to be lined up. So as this thing twists off of here, it lifts this ring up a little bit and allows you to remove the seal. But if this ring is not tightened down, I guess there's enough floppiness in this that the water can leak past this. So the other modification that I made is I added this rod. It's my second version of this. First one, I just had a steel piece of 1/2-inch steel tubing around here, and I threaded the inside to match the threads that are at the top of this, and realizing that the steel was going to rust, I painted it, and the thickness of the paint and the bumpiness in the paint, whatever caused it to stick up and down guide tube hole. So what I ended up doing was I got a piece of 3/8 aluminum rod from Home Depot and threaded the end to M10 1.5, which is what the thread hole is up in there. Put that in there. So now that slides up and down inside that hole much better, and it's really a guide. So when this thing goes up and it comes back down, it doesn't go too far either way. It's kind of guiding it down, which is what the plastic thing did. The plastic thing, when I try to remove it, I did an oops, and I dropped the plastic thing down the drain. So this whole unit here has to be replaced as one. You can't buy any of the individual parts. It's like $50. So anyway, this solution of putting in this tube and making sure that ring is tightened down has so far solved the leaking problem. So we'll see how it goes.